Welcome back, everyone. I'm Robbie.
And I'm Jye.
And we got yet another Tom Cruise action film, and it's, of course, his most iconic franchise. Back at it again, doing crazy stunts. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to watch this review.
Prayed to God that it wasn't true.
Solomon Lane escaped in Paris.
And now the world is at risk.
This is the CIA's mission. You use a scalpel. I prefer a hammer.
This is a bad idea.
Is it ever a good one? Honestly.
Mission Impossible Fallout is the 6th film in the Mission Impossible series, and it's directed by Christopher McQuarrie, the first director in the franchise to return for a sequel, and it of course stars the unstoppable Tom Cruise, and we've got Rebecca Ferguson coming back, Simon Pegg as well, Ving Rhames, Sean Harris, and they're joined by Angela Bassett and Henry Cavill. And Alec Baldwin, of course, comes back as well.
Yes. Ethan Hunt is back again, up to some crazy, insane stunts. This time going after the environmentalist John Lark.
Yep.
That's pretty much the story. How is it that this series keeps getting better?
Better and better and better. Just a heads up, obviously this isn't a spoiler review for Fallout, but if you haven't seen the first 5 films, there will be spoilers for those, because we can't really talk about this without talking about those ones, because
especially Rogue Nation.
Unlike the other ones, which are kind of self-contained stories, this one is really a sequel to the entire franchise in a way.
Yeah.
It's the most sequel of all of them, really. So, having said that, yeah, they do get better and better. Because, I mean...
Well, apart from...
Yeah, I mean, the first one started off good, and then number 2 just went crap. I don't know what happened with that one. I remember seeing number 3. Number 3 was actually my very first Mission Impossible film I ever saw.
Me too.
And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Went back and watched the first, and I was like, okay, well, that's a rocky start. Watched number 3, and I was like, oh. And then 4 came out, I was like, how are they on top 3? And they did it.
Oh, 4 is
for most
phenomenal.
people. For me, I still prefer number 3 slightly. But number 4 was amazing. And then 5 came out and just completely obliterated the entire franchise. For me, I was like, wow, okay, they're not going to be able to top that. Fallout comes out, and they've done it again. They've actually done it again.
Yeah, Fallout is an incredible movie. It I don't remember a time in the cinema since the last Mission Impossible that I was so tense during the film. So the entire last 30 minutes of Fallout, my heart's beating out of my chest. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, and I remember feeling the exact same when I went and saw Rogue Nation with the the underwater scene or the opera scene,
the motorbike chase.
The motorbike chase, yeah. The Mission Impossible movies, especially for me, the last 3, just do action set pieces extremely well. And I think this is actually the best franchise for action currently going.
Yeah, and I mean, like on the action, like what you said, it is. Oh boy. It is nuts. It is unrelenting. It is hard hitting. It is brutal. And
yes, while people can argue that Mad Max Fury Road is a better action movie, and yes, while it's more non-stop full on,
I prefer this one by
it's
far.
not. But I like Mission Impossible because we've had, for me, 3 solid movies. So 4, 5, and 6 of just great action. Fury Road, but that's really the only one of the Mad Max films where you can say it's like that. Like the first 2 Mad Maxes are great films, but they're not on the same level as Fury Road or these movies.
Yeah, and if we're comparing Fury Road to Fallout, Fury Road's got amazing action, but I think the characters in Fallout are more compelling. They're more fleshed out. I think the story's far more compelling.
Right.
Overall, I think it's a better film as a whole.
Right.
When you're talking about every aspect of the movie, Fury Road, like I said, had amazing action, but this one I think has more. It's probably for me personally, but I think it's got more offer for me.
Right, of course.
But it's literally this is a massive adrenaline rush. This film.
There are so many action set pieces And they don't just last 2 seconds either. These action sequences go for a long time. Like the Paris chase.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
Yeah.
And
the last 30 minutes, without giving anything away, you think it's about to wrap up, and it keeps going. And you think, oh, that's about to wrap up. No, and it keeps going. And you think, oh, that's about to wrap up. And it keeps going. And you're like, how much more of this is, like, can my heart take? Like,
there's so much going on where you're not just nervous about something one person's doing. I'm nervous about everything that's happening. Everything that's happening. And I think that's what Mission Impossible does so well. Like it presents you the stakes. It's like, we've got to do this before this happens, or this in this amount of time. And then when they're doing it, everything that seemingly can go wrong goes wrong. And it's just such great tension.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
A lot of the credit for, especially obviously for Rogue Nation 4, has to go to Christopher McQuarrie. This is the first time, like I said, that a director's come back to direct a sequel.
And I'm so glad he did.
And they've each had very unique styles. I was a bit worried going into Fallout. I was like, there's going to feel too much like Rogue Nation. And it doesn't. Even though it's Chris McQuarrie again, it feels very different to Fallout. To Rogue Nation.
Yeah.
And like I said, already with Rogue Nation, I thought, how can you top that? And he's done it with Fallout. And he is proven to be exceptionally competent at making action scenes. But just, you can feel that he's in control of everything. Like, nothing is done by mistake.
Yeah.
And that's down to Tom Cruise as well.
I was about to say, I think we have to thank Tom Cruise for that a lot as well, because he is just a crazy man.
Oh, he's nuts.
Like, the stunt work in this film that he is actually doing is insane.
Yeah.
And, it shows on film.
Yeah.
Like we can see, like, the danger in it, which is something...
I mean, I don't think it's overstatement to say that 70% of what you see on screen is not visual effects.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
Take away the bullets and explosions and things like that a person physically can't be around, obviously, on set. Anything he can do, whether it's skydiving, hanging onto a helicopter, climbing up a rope mid-air to a helicopter, all of that he does.
And just seeing, like, some of the beyond the clip scenes we've already seen, where he jumps across the roof and, like, he breaks his ankle or he breaks his foot or whatever. Like, and you see that's in the film. Like, you see it.
Yeah, it's great.
And the supporting cast is great. I love Simon Pegg, so I'm so glad that he's part of this franchise.
I love Rebecca Ferguson. Rebecca Ferguson's fantastic.
Ving Rhames is even good. Like he's been around since the first film.
Yeah.
So
the only one he sat out for was Ghost Protocol. He came in for that brief cameo.
Yeah, but I mean he's been there the whole time. So
he's great. He's got one scene I think is really really it's a touching scene, I thought.
I know the one you're talking about.
I thought that was well done, and Henry Cavill is the new main character coming in.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good.
He is excellent, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. He feels more powerful in this film than he does as Superman.
He does, and that's coming from a DC fan.
And, I love him as Superman, but holy crap, he feels so powerful and so... Yeah, he's got such a great screen presence in this film. Yeah,
and one thing I love about this, I mean, the good ones in the franchise, but in particular Fallout and Rogue Nation as well, is that it doesn't rely purely on action to sell itself.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that is a big selling point, but there is so much more in the film. Like, there is compelling characters, there is intriguing story, and you can't just switch your brain off while watching these movies and just enjoy the fun visuals. I mean, if you do that, you'll enjoy the action, sure, but there'll be a lot of stuff you miss.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's a lot of twists and turns, you have to really pay attention to the dialogue, you have to pay attention to what's happening. Sometimes it's done without any dialogue, and it's just done through just suggestive camera moves. You have to pay attention to things like that to pick up on clues and hints that are dropped along the way. And it's so well done and so well thought out and planned out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, like as I said before, this is the best action franchise currently going. Everything about it. I even think, what makes this a cut above the rest is the writing, for sure.
Yeah.
And
it's well and truly a cut above the rest of a cut above your regular blockbuster. For me, it well and truly joins like the greats in terms of action films.
Yeah.
And I don't say anything like that lightly. Like, this really is one of my all-time favorite action films now.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, since the fourth one for me, It has consistently just been excellent.
Yeah.
So
There's no
I
sorry.
can't wait to see where. I hope there's a 7 because I remember.
I hope they keep going.
Well, on there was. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere there where Tom Cruise was asked about, like, you know, how are we going to top this? You know, what are we going to? And he said, "We can do better. We can do better." So like, it seems like he doesn't have any plans to stop. And the man, how old is he? He's like
He's in his 50s, like
he's-
mid-50s, I think.
that's
56
insane.
something,
How
yeah.
much longer can he keep doing this? I'm glad that he feels he can keep going because I want more of these movies. I want more.
And he's never felt more in shape in this than in this movie.
There's things he's doing. I'm like just under half his age.
Yeah.
I couldn't do them.
No, yeah,
So-
of course not. Yeah, the guy's a machine. I do like as well like I said before. I might be over exaggerating, but it feels like 7% of it is non CGI, and even if that's not the case, it doesn't feel like an over reliance on visual effects. Whenever they can do something practically, it's done practically in camera, for real.
Of course, yeah, and of course, there's always like safety procedures. Like if he's hanging from something, like, you know, may have a harness on, you know,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
But what we're seeing him do
He's crazy, but he's not suicidal.
is real though. Like we're actually seeing him like climb that rope. We're seeing him like swing himself up onto that. We're seeing him jump over that thing. You know, like
We're actually seeing him skydive in one take.
and not just one take. He didn't do it in one take.
He did it 97 times. Apparently, there is a hidden cut in there somewhere.
Right.
If there is, it's bloody well hidden because I cannot see it.
I haven't noticed it.
And what do we think of the cinematography? Because it's quite dark, this one, compared to the other ones.
I thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine too.
I thought
it suited the mood of the film.
Me too, and like the without spoiling anything for the film, the setting of the last half an hour I thought was a nice contrast to everything that had come before it.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
The opening is very different to the first. You know, the opening in the Fallout, sorry, in Rogue Nation was the plane sequence.
Yes.
And it was this huge adrenaline rush from the opening sequence. Fallout goes for a much more minimal, subdued opening.
But the payoff is so good.
And it fits the film. When I first saw it, I was like, I was hoping for like a big action scene.
So was I. But then the fact that opening scene plays again into the film, like so much, like overall like tone of the film. You know, like after coming out of it, I thought about the opening scene. I thought, wow, that is the perfect opening scene for this film.
Oh man, it's so perfect, the opening. It fits it so well, and the whole film is just, I'm struggling to think of a flaw.
I was blown away. I loved it, and it's a testament to how well this works as an action film first and foremost, because there are so many action set pieces in this that I'm struggling to pick a favorite. Like just there's so many I can name off the top of my head.
There's so
like,
many.
Paris and London and the chase and the bathroom and the skydiving and
the helicopter
and just everything. Like, you know, I can't pick a favorite. This is so good. Oh, what are you giving?
Okay, so as I said before, this one, I think this is without a doubt one of my favorite action films I've ever seen. I can only think of like a handful that I put above it, and even then, it is very close. This is without a doubt a easy 5-star for me. It is almost flawless. I can't think of anything in it that I don't like. It is technically just astounding. The story is compelling. The characters are fantastic. Tom Cruise, buddy, like, you have got to keep making these movies because they are so good. And if Chris McQuarrie comes back for a third movie, I'm all for it.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Since I'm going to do a rewatch of the series very shortly,
Right.
so my rating may even go up, which I have a feeling it may do after I rewatch a couple of the others. This, for me, without a doubt, is a very solid 4.5 star movie. Once I rewatch, especially 4 and 5 again, this could solidify it as being even more. But for now, I'm sticking with 4.5. I absolutely adore this film. It's so good. I love the feeling I get from it. I love the tenseness I get from watching a Mission Impossible film. And Fallout does it superbly. So
At the moment for you, where's it sitting in the...
So my favourite is Ghost Protocol, followed very close by Rogue Nation, then Fallout. But honestly, either any of those could be
Interchangeable.
And I honestly, I think once I rewatch them, because I haven't seen these two for at least a year and a bit.
Yeah.
So,
I watched them all leading up to it, even this one.
Yeah. So yeah, once I watch these ones in particular, Fallout could hit the top.
Yeah.
But for now it's just slightly below these two. But I love all three. This is a solid 4.5 star film.
Yeah. I Rogue Nation was my favorite. It's the only Mission Impossible film that I'd given 5 stars up to this point, and Fallout just completely just obliterated it. It's fantastic.
Accept it, Ethan. You've lost this one. What's done is done. What's done is done when we say it's done.
Showtime.
Oh my God.
Thanks for watching, guys. Those are our thoughts on the fantastic Mission Impossible Fallout.
Fantastic.
Obviously. Let us know what you thought of the film. We'd love to hear from you. Keep an eye out for future reviews. In the next coming weeks, we've got Spy Who Dumped Me and The Meg.
We do, and as we've been doing for the Meg leading up to it, we've got our Jaws reviews. We've got our first 3 up on the channel right now. Jaws Revenge, the great masterpiece Jaws Revenge will be the next one up, so keep an eye out for that one if you want to laugh.
Alright, until next time, we'll see you at the movies.